sense.
It doesn't. Like, it's something that, like if you watched a crazy, like, Hindu guy giving his instructions to a bunch of his followers saying to, like, you know, do that thing where you hold one arm up in the air for 60 years until it's just a weird
your joint just freezes
twig. Look that up if you haven't seen it. There are some, like, Indian guys out there who they're like, oh, this is Baba Bhushna, and what he does is he hasn't moved his hand since 1971, and you look at him and he's an emaciated little man with a grotesque appendage, pretty much. It's completely non-functional. It's like it's like a vestigial limb, basically.
Are these the
like
Indian
he evolved
guys?
it there, and it no longer works.
No, there are also ones that stand all their life. They just never. They sleep standing up, like, and their legs just get fucking massive.
Is this
there's different tiers of these guys. So there's one guy who just started holding his hand up for, like, you know, a couple decades, and it rotted away and looks terrible. And there was but then there's other guys who are like, oh, that's it? One arm, please. And they do both arms. And then there's some other guy that had to one-up them, so he sticks a fucking foot up in the air all the time. It's absurd. It's the stupidest kind of, like, Black Knight one-upsmanship that makes no sense.
I worked with a lot of Indian guys. We're talking about the Indian guys who do this, right?
Yeah,
I assume that it is.
And they would tell me about this. Now, a lot of them are scam artists. Clearly, you can't fake, like, the muscle atrophy or whatever.
Can't fake this.
A lot of them just scam.
Jesus.
What am I looking at here?
That's the guy.
You're looking at a man who has had his arm in the air for 38 years.
Look at those fingernails. He don't do shit with that arm.
Yeah. He's just waiting for someone to call on him to teach him.
And essentially, what some of them do, this guy I'm not an expert in.
Don't you just want to high-five him?
Let me talk.
Yeah, just shatter that gross little limb.
They go from town to town, like, with this sacrifice that they may only make as they first get there, and beg for money. And the guys that I knew, usually the more well-to-do and educated, they would take it upon themselves to, like, shoo them away. Like, get the fuck out of here, scam artist. That is the case with a lot of these people.
That guy is a committed scam artist. You know, I'm going to lose the use of one of my arms in order to make
guess
that's
so.
not a
like,
that's a scam on him.
What's going on here exactly? Like, he's just he sacrificed an arm so he never has to get a job. Like, that's how I see this.
38 years.
It's like, I'll just do this in lieu of actually working.
Here, I'll read it. Mahant Amar Bharti Ji, a clerk from New Delhi, raised his right arm above his head in 1973 in honor of Shiva deity, and since then never put it down. Despite pain and arm deformation, he managed to keep his arm raised for 38 years and counting. I don't like how the count is continuing, because at around, like, year, I don't know, 2, it became a decision that you can't undo. Like, your arm is fucked. It's not. You're no longer choosing to keep your arm in the air.
Yeah.
They should say servants bathe your arm because you can't even reach. Look at his fucking fingernails. Look at those fingernails coming out of that hand.
Like a sloth.
It's horrible.
It's
they should
cage.
say
They're just
in
going to cage his
1973
hand.
he chose to ruin his arm, and the choice has been made now. That's what's happening.
Did he get
here.
caught beating it, and that's his, like, reparation? He's just like,
oh, that would be good. I think he's reaching up for maybe the goddess to take his hand and take him away.
At some point, you're like, your muscle failed. Like, maybe it's like a day, 2 days. Like, did he just hold it up until it locked in place?
I have no idea. If he's got like a rope in his bedroom, keeping that thing dangling, that's cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's not a sacrifice. That's an assist.
Or he kept it in the air, and then he would, like, sleep like this, and then wake up in the morning and immediately lift it back up.
That count, though?
Yeah, that's not even a real sacrifice.
Is it about being in one position? I thought it was about being held upright and unsupported, like, ever relaxing.
I'm with Kyle with this one.
But if I can leave it above my head and then lay down, then, well, I'm just going to lay down a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So really, if he was laying down to fix his arm like that, it's not very fair. I can't think of a way that this makes sense.
No.
I don't know his religion at all, but there's no way that any religion out there wants swaths of people sacrificing half of their upper body mobility to just be a douche that he gets Googled every so often just to get gawked at.
Well, he comes from a culture that doesn't wipe their ass, so what do you expect?
I mean,
they just use their hands.
Sure they do. Yeah, they just use their hands.
I've seen so many videos of them pooping, like, on the streets and stuff.
You have an odd fetish.
They never wipe. They never wipe. They're
saving it for later.
They just pinch it off and then go about their day. They pull whatever their pants or trousers, whatever. They just straight up and just go about their day so casually.
Have you ever watched An Idiot Abroad?
Yeah.
Carl Pilkington.
Hilarious.
You've seen it? It's absolutely hilarious. Carl Pilkington is this British, English, I guess, funny man, almost unintentionally. He just gets put in uncomfortable situations and you laugh at him, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to a couple of these guys and tried to ask them questions about it and shit, like saying, like, why do you hold your arm up? Why do you do this? Why do you only sit in Indian style? Like, one of the guys, maybe I'm thinking of like a different YouTube video I saw and this wasn't it, but a guy had his legs crossed, like Indian style, or whatever you say now, crisscrossed applesauce,
yes.
Which is just, that's stupid. He's in Indian style, and this is someone who hasn't moved out of Indian style in a long time, to the point that when he wants to get up and move, he like kind of lifts himself up like a paraplegic, and then like swings his body almost in different directions as he walks with his arms. Like it's fucked up. This is.
But he's got good upper body strength though. So
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
This is stupid. This is so dumb. I hate that people do this. I hate that people do this, like, in lieu of actually being, like, productive members of society. Fucking contribute to the GDP, you piece of shit.
He is serving as
a beggar.
Example. No, he's serving as an example for others. You know, hey, you want to work hard, or do you want to be one of the guys who holds his hand up in the air? You want that, Jimmy? You want that? Is that what you want to be? You want to be like him? Look at his hand, Jimmy.
They're basically homeless people that live off people who work.
That's his last name, though. So
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like them.
Barack Najandra.
Do you think this guy said